Valentine's Day is coming up. We also have in the Jewish religion of Valentines, if you want to call it like that. It's Tu B'Av. It's in the month of Av after Tisha B'Av. Singles used to go to the Bet HaMikdash and they would find their mazal. We live here in Canada, in the United States, and Valentine's is a big thing, especially when you have a couple that goes out together. The woman's waiting for their chocolate or their heart. Or their date, to celebrate their relationship. So we'll talk about this.
I actually had a conversation with somebody recently about in the religious communities, you go out a few times, you ask the important questions, and then you learn to love each other. I find in the modern traditional world of with less religious people, it's the other way around, where you see whether you love the person or not, and then that determines everything else.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the it was IEP.
The concept is I've heard it a lot from a lot of my rabbis.
Mm-hmm.
It's the IENP. IENP, yeah.
IENP. So when you were talking about the IENP last episode, you were saying that the order is important.
Yes.
So what makes it important, and why is it flipped from the way that people do it outside of religion?
Okay, so in a normal Jewish life, men and women usually are separated. It could be since they're kids. In school, the boys go to yeshiva, girls go to yeshiva for girls. And then when they get to the level of wanting to get married, they never went out with anybody. So for them, it's a taboo because they don't know how men think or how women think. So of course they have their rabbi in the middle, or their rabbanit that's in the middle to tell them, okay, I think that this guy would be. It's like a match. Mm-hmm. It's like how do you say the dating you don't see the person, but it's
like a blind date.
A blind date, yeah, mm-hmm. Like blind dates. With everything you have today, you have all kinds of applications, which J-Swipe and all kinds of stuff like that. But here you don't see anybody. You just know the family, and it's an organized date. But when you live in the world, with the modern world, you're very influenced by what's outside, especially if you're connected to the internet. You're connected to everything that movies and tabloids and all kinds of stuff like that. You get like, oh yeah, I need to see the person, or I need to know the person before, and okay, so people you meet, and you can start having a discussion, and you like the person. Mm-hmm. But when you don't have boundaries, so you get attached, right? You automatically get attached to a person, and the physical touch is very, very present in the non-Jewish world, and that attracts you, and you think that you feel that you like the person because, I don't know, the hug was beautiful, the touch was amazing, anything like the smell, the looks. So you are attracted from the exterior before you're attracted from the interior, mm-hmm. which is the opposite in the Jewish world, which is more the intellect before the physical. So there's no physical in the beginning. There's only the intellect. There's only about, what do you want to do in life, and how do you see life, and how many children would you want to have, or questions are very important in a relationship. Of course, in the beginning, when you start talking, you can talk about everything and anything, mm-hmm. but there's no physical touch. Right. There's no attraction really. There's maybe I like her, like I like how she looks, but that's it. There's mm-hmm. nothing. There's no interaction. Mm-hmm. In the modern world, it starts with the physical. So there's, I'm not saying it's bad. It is in the religion because you're not allowed to touch girls. Boys are not girls. So, but let's say you're at that level. Some people are intellectual, so they will have those discussions. Mm-hmm. But until what limit? Like until what time? How many years? Because I have people coming up to me and telling me, I've been going out with this girl for 5 years. I'm like, 5 years you've been going out with her? Well, you don't know how to take a decision? You know what I mean? Like, what do you need? Mm-hmm. So, and it comes back to a lot of the physical. Like, I need the money first. I need to have a job. I need to know that everything's going to be okay, that everything is settled. Then I could get married, which is really the opposite in the Jewish world, in the religious Jewish world, which usually you don't really pay attention to it. It's there, but it's not the main importance. The main importance is, how do I connect with her? How do I connect with him? What does he want to do in life? So the intellect is like, I get so close to what they want to do that I start having those emotions, that I love this person, not for how he looks, but for what he wants to do in life and what's his insight. You understand? So that's why sometimes you see people that get married in the religious world, and it works. Like most of the relationships that were made in mine, right? They last, and you learn how to love the person every day. But the physical is later, is after you get married. And most of the relationships that are made in the secular world, which is based in the beginning from the physical, sometimes the percentage today is very high of divorce that you can get. Not because you don't like the person, it's just there's nothing else to do. Like, I lived with her for 10 years, and now what am I supposed to do anymore? Right?
Another thought that I have is, when it comes to building that connection in the beginning, the first date, the second date, what's your recommendation of like things to do on that first date, or like questions to ask, or how do you build that?
Meaning you met her in a party.
We come to Olabi.
Yeah, come to Olami. You met her.
We met her here.
Okay. So usually I would say, first of all, you don't know the level, right? So let's say you are at the same level. Okay, let's take it. So the discussion should be very fluent. Should be like, where do you go to school? What do you do? And like a friend, like a friendly way of approaching. Now you do have an attraction, and how do you do to make her? Sometimes boys today have difficulty of expressing their interest in the girl, right? So they're shy. They don't know how to do it, right? So my recommendation is usually you go with the flow. And today, sometimes you see the girl that has that confidence in her. She will tell the guy directly, which wasn't in the past, like, I like you. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you could start having a more serious relationship. But if you are, let's say, in Olami, or you're in a Jewish event, there's a middleman. There's that rabbi that's there. The rabbi could be me, could be Rabbi Michael, could be anybody else. And that person knows, he has experience in religion. So, yeah, let's say you're shy to tell her that you like her, so you could tell the rabbi, and then the rabbi would say, you know what, I think you should see each other again. Or you should come to the next shiur, she'll be here and he'll be here, you could talk again. And I think by doing that with an intermediate, and I think it's like more a help than to be interfering in your it's like a middleman, but a Jewish and respectful way. Sometimes people do meet because of friends, and you know what, friends are good also, and sometimes it's not good, because sometimes you want to push your friend to, oh, you should meet this guy, and like, yeah, but why? Because he has blue eyes and I have blue eyes. You know what I mean? Like, no, because he's a good guy and everything. I know him. I know his father. I know his parents. Sometimes it does work, and most of the people do have that way of dating today. But if you have confidence in yourself and you see that, you can come up to the girl, go up, and talk to her.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Another thing, in the beginning, you're saying assuming that you're on the same level.
Yeah.
What if you guys are at different levels, whether it's religiously or different points of life or anything? Because I have one friend who always recommends to find somebody a little bit more religious so they motivate you.
Yeah.
What's your view on that?
So, if you are open to, let's say you are at a level lower than the person you want to meet with, if you are open to, yes, getting closer to the religion, so I would say you could date that person, and he will or she will bring you up a little bit more, because she had the chance of having that experience of Shomer Shabbat or eating kosher and things like that. But if it's too much of a gap, meaning that she's Shomer Shabbat, she's doing everything, and you are nothing, you don't do nothing anymore, but you just like the concept. So in that way, it's going to be harder because, first of all, maybe she won't be interested because you're not at the level, so she won't even start anything, or even have a discussion about it. But I did have a lot of people that did have that and did get to that level, because it's like the story of, the short way of saying it, Rabbi Akiva and Rachel, which Rabbi Akiva wasn't religious at all. He was 40 years old, and Rachel was a religious woman, and she pushed him and pushed him and pushed him, and he became Rabbi Akiva. So it is possible, but in our generation, it's very tough. If you have let's say you're on the net all the time, and you're listening to all kinds of music, and the girl is like, I listen to Shweki or I don't know, like Miami Boys Choir, but the guy is like listening to Tupac or Biggie. It doesn't go together. And usually in the shidduch, in the religious Jewish world, you do not start a dating if you're not at the level of the other person, at least at the same level. So, but today, if you have that rabbi in the middle, maybe you can have that advice of how to get into that relationship.
So with Valentine's coming up, with everything, what are some closing remarks you want to give to the audience?
So I would say, for people that are married and they're not at the level of religion yet, go out with your spouse. Make her feel special. Bring her to a nice restaurant. Make her a little surprise. Buy her maybe a little present that's going to make her feel special. For the ones that are dating, and it's a serious relationship. Don't go see a movie. Like, movie's not the way to connect to the other person. You won't talk. You'll watch something, but go somewhere where you can have a discussion, where you can feel comfortable. And I think if you take the Valentine's way in the Jewish world today, at that level, it's to show appreciation of the relationship that you have with that person, and to make her feel special, and she would make you feel special also. But it's more a man's way to go to the woman than the woman come to the man. But you should have a Valentine's Day every week. You should have a date night every week. So if it's special for her, it's important for her, make her feel special, and especially whatever she likes, to know what she likes, like that she'll love you even more. And maybe at that time you could decide, after a year or two, to get married and have the real relationship.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.